There we go.
Let's do my best Halloween.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for joining us. This is Our Dinner is Done. Oh, yeah, you want to just pop it up a little bit? Our
Good
dinner
hair.
is
I want to
done.
show it off.
There we go. So welcome. If you have
I
joined
did feel tall for a moment.
If you have joined us before, welcome back. If this is your first time, I'm Sally.
I'm Jimmy.
Jimmy. This is our little cooking stream. We just enjoy cooking, and these are some of the recipes that we make here at home. Tonight we're going to make something really, really easy, chicken piccata. We're actually going to make it with, we're going to eat it with white rice tonight, but you could certainly make this with pasta or serve it with potatoes if you like, or even just with a vegetable on the side.
You do it over risotto, you can do it with polenta.
Yeah.
Just coming.
Yeah, we're definitely going to try to make polenta one of these days. But we're going to be making some food. So thanks for joining us. Tonight, we are going to be using chicken thighs. We just prefer them over chicken breasts. We just feel like they have a little bit more flavor. And
they're a little more forgiving when you
Yeah.
cook them as well. Chicken breast, it really has little to no fat on it. Which, yes, health reasons, that's wonderful. Little to no fat, it's going to be a healthier option. However, it lacks flavor. Well, that's the big one. It lacks flavor,
Yeah.
but also that lack of fat and it being the white tissue, it's very easy to overcook. You always hear the term like hammered chicken. I've done it many times because chicken's one of those things you don't want to undercook,
and then you overcook it.
and then you end up overcooking it. But it's kind of hard to overcook a chicken thigh, and they just taste so much better.
Yeah. So I see that you took out egg whites, but in the recipe that I saw, it just said to dredge in flour with no eggs. What do you think? I feel like in order for the flour to stick, it needs the egg.
Yeah, you actually don't have to do it. It's force of habit.
Yeah.
You normally just flour first. You don't actually need an egg.
Yeah. So I said, okay, yeah, all right. So no eggs.
We can use that to make brownies.
Oh, okay.
Box
Not tonight.
brownies, that's not going on.
And we're not going to do that tonight, but we should do that soon because I love brownies. So yes, we're going to be using some chicken thighs. He's going to show you how to cut them up. While he's doing that, I'm going to set up some white rice in our rice cooker. We just use that because it's really simple. We're just going to use that because it's really simple. But tonight I'm just using jasmine rice because that's what we have at home. I like to season up the rice too with a little bit of salt, garlic powder, and onion powder too, just to give it a little bit of extra flavor. If you have any questions for us, give us a shout on the chat. Hi, Mark. I see you. So hello. I'm going to put this over here for now. I am going to rinse my rice. This is something that I talked about pretty recently on one of our other streams about rinsing the rice. It's something that I had read is important to do. I had never done it before. So you're supposed to just kind of rinse some of the starchiness off and kind of clean off the rice that way. So I'm going to do that. I just give it a quick rinse. I know some people spend a lot of time rinsing it out, but I just kind of give it a rinse, stir it a little bit, and we're good to go. So I'm going to do 2 cups of that in the rice cooker, and I usually do about like 3 cups of water. I know that they usually call for more water, but I use a little bit less because I don't like my rice very mushy. But he's going to show you how to cut up the chicken.
So I just noticed in the chat, so I didn't realize the piece of cheese and the macaroni are each holding half the heart. When they come together, they form a full heart.
Oh, that's cool.
That's really cute.
That's cute. Very cute. Would you hand me back there, though, the measuring cup, please?
Yep.
Thank you. So if you don't know what chicken piccata is, it's a really simple chicken, just salt, pepper, flour, and you make a nice little sauce with some lemon, some butter, olive oil, and capers. And it's really it. Super easy.
Yeah.
So,
super simple. Something that you'll often see at Italian restaurants. It's a classic Italian recipe. Oh, Kiwi, can I clean your cast iron pan on the stream one day? Sure. You have one. B, you've used it? Question mark. I didn't think you cooked. I thought it was purely Grubhub. I'm a little confused.
Sorry, Reggie.
All right. Oh, he has 2, and they're rusty. Oh, okay, so the rusty ones do need a little saving. that's kind of a fun process unto itself, saving a rusty one.
I don't even know how to do that. Is there like a science to that?
Oh, I have to know too. Yeah, there is like a science to it, to cleaning out the rusty ones. So ideally you never want your cast iron skillet to get rusty. It's all about the pre-seasoning and then the care. You basically never want to wash it, but if you did, I mean, it sounds like the grossest thing ever, but if you have a well-seasoned and well-kept cast iron skillet, after you cook with it, you're just going to be able to wipe it out. And I did a little quick how-to when we used one a couple weeks ago. But there is ways to get the rust out without damaging the cast iron. And it's also a porous metal, so that's why you don't want to use soap and water. It's going to seep into it and deflavor it. All right, so let's cut up these chicken thighs. So I don't have to cut any veggies, so I'm just going to use this knife. We have our poultry cutting board down. We have these delicious chicken thighs. These are from our favorite spot, Aldi. We should have 4. Excellent. So we're going to have our 4 chicken thighs. And the beauty of these chicken thighs is how delicious they are. And they do have fat. These are boneless and skinless.
Yeah.
You can get them with a bone in if that's your thing, but just for it's more work. The boneless, skinless are the boneless are just gonna cook easier. They're gonna be easier if you're making some sort of cutlet. You're a content creator. I've done this before. Yes, you're so fancy, and I'm very sorry that I missed your Mario 64 stream the other day. I was actually really bummed. I told Sally, but we had to go to a drive-by baby shower, which was actually really fun. It was funny when we were there, and the mother-to-be, she's already a mom, but she's having her second child, was like, I don't really know what to do. Like, do I hug? Do I say hi? How close do I get? And it's also weird talking to people. So we're all outside, socially distanced, but it was weird, right? It was weird in the aspect of, I mean, it was one of Sally's coworkers, and I mean, I've known her for as long as I've known Sally, but it was weird just talking to people just in the real world, not in a Zoom. Like, this feels more normal than a conversation with a human being, which is so weird.
I am going to grab some garlic powder, some salt and pepper for some garlic powder, salt, and onion powder for the rice to season that up. And my dog is at my feet, one of our dogs is at my feet, so if you just saw me almost fall, that is why.
So we have one of those kitchen mats right in front of the sink, one of the, I don't know, it's almost like a memory foam-esque one, and the dogs love it, so they always lay there. All right, so I'm going to take these chicken thighs, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim off some of the fat. I'm not going to go crazy and trim all of it, but I want to get these big hunks of fat. You know it's fat because it's white, and that's the fatty part. So I'm just going to trim that off. Nothing too intense, nothing too crazy. You don't have to be a butcher to do this. You just have to have a reasonably sharp knife. If I don't get all the fat, it's not the end of the world. There might be a little bit of fat in the meal itself, but it's not going to be bad. So I'm just going to trim first, and then we'll go through my next stage. And it'll tend to bunch up on a chicken thigh. The fat will be at each end. So you'll be able to get that off in bunches. And you just want to you don't want to hack away. You just want to make clean slices, just pulling the knife towards you. And that way it comes off nice and smoothly. You'll notice that you always want to keep your pointing finger on top of the blade. What's your name with the crazy hair? Anne Burrell.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see, if you ever seen Worst Cooks in America. She'll go around, and if they don't cut like that, if they cut like this, because you don't have as much control of the knife, if you just grab it, if you're like Michael Myers style, you don't have as much control, she'll come over and she'll grab their finger and put a red marker on it. That's like her badge of shame.
You know, it's actually really funny because as teachers, as special ed teachers, especially as someone that works with early childhood students, when we're teaching children how to use scissors, you want to show them to put their thumb up towards the sky. So oftentimes when we put the scissors on their hands, we'll either put like a little, you know, like you said, like a little marker on their thumb, or even on the scissor itself where the thumb hole would be, to show them where to do it. Face the sky.
So you know,
does that make sense?
Makes sense. It's the teacher in her.
I'm gonna just grab this so I can bring it over here.
Okay.
So I'm not going behind you.
So restaurant term for you. So when you do go behind someone,
Ah.
you say on your back.
Ah.
That way you let the person down. On your back.
On your back.
Or behind.
Or behind. Yeah. Well, you see that on Chopped.
You see it on Chopped a
behind,
lot.
Behind.
But from like my years of like bartending, like if I'm coming down and I'm making a drink or I'm carrying drinks to get to the other end of the bar, I'm just saying behind or on your back, and I'm gonna walk by the person. So it's like it's basically like restaurant lingo, if you will.
That makes sense. Why don't I also put some flour in there for you while you're cutting?
Just gonna need a spoon. So I have trimmed the fat off of all 4 of these. There's a little bit left, as you can see, which is fine. That's going to cook up nicely. I've just trimmed the bulk of the fat off. Again, these are boneless and skinless. If you get them with the skin on, for the purposes of this recipe, it's not going to work. Skin on will work nicely if you are really kind of like frying it up. And you want a nice crisp layer of skin on the outside. In this case, we're making it into sauce, so that would then soften up the skin, and there's nothing worse than soft skin. So you want to make sure that they're skinless. So after I have trimmed the fat, I'm always going to flip them over to the back side, and this is when I'm going to look for any fibrous parts or any bones, any cartilage rather. So you just kind of want to give it a feel. It would be along these like vein-like lines is where the fibers and cartilage would be. Not necessarily these little joint parts, which you could trim off if you wanted to get crazy. But you're going to look for that cartilage, because that's if you've ever had a piece of chicken and you bite down and you get that crunch.
Yeah.
That's a piece of cartilage.
Yeah, it's kind of like grizzle or
it doesn't
taste
grizzly.
good.
It's not appetizing.
It's not a good bite.
It's not the good crunch of like, oh wow, this is crunchy skin. It's like, ooh, this is gross, and it can be very unappetizing. So it's always a good idea to get to the back side of the chicken and just to check to make sure you don't have that. Generally, it will not. It's not supposed to. A boneless, skinless, it would have been trimmed, but it's that connective tissue to the bone. So you just want to give it a check. So we're actually good to go.
Yeah, and the other thing is you could certainly make this, like we were saying, with chicken breast, or you could even, if you have like chicken tenderloins or something like that at home, like a slimmer piece of chicken, that would work too. Whatever kind of cut you like, whatever you prefer, but we just tend to like the chicken thighs more because they're a little bit more flavorful for us, and we put them in a lot of our most chicken dishes. We very rarely use chicken breast in the house.
Only when we're making like we made chicken cutlets. Chicken cutlets in that case.
Right.
And a chicken tenderloin, right? Is that what you call it? Yeah, that is a chicken breast. So it's
right. They're just thinly sliced, pre-sliced.
It's the chicken breast. There's the larger part, and there's that thin attached piece, and that's the tenderloin. They're just removed. It's a thinner piece, and that's what makes it chicken tender, which you would see at most restaurants, most kids' menus.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to season our chicken before we flour it. You always want to make sure you're seasoning everything, including the chicken, even though it's going to go into this flour dredge, and it's going to be cooked in a sauce. You're always going to season your season your meat, your protein first. Just a little salt and pepper will work. Fun fact, so we've been getting these since the pandemic now, these little grinders, and I realized just yesterday that they have different settings for how big you want your kernels. So from, obviously the largest to the small. So in this case, when I'm seasoning, I'm going to put it on the smallest setting, which I didn't do on this one. Sea salt. Didn't really like it. And you're just going to get a finer grind.
All right. Does anybody in the chat, do you have any favorite ways that you like to prepare chicken? I know we've done the chicken cutlet here before. This is our dish with the chicken piccata. Maybe you like to make chicken parm or chicken cacciatore or something like that. These are obviously Italian dishes, but are there any ways that you really like to prepare chicken at home? Let us know. I feel like I constantly put this towel here, and I have to move it out of the way because it always falls down while we're streaming.
So this is our oven right here. So it's the towel that you put on the handle of the oven, but as we're cooking and talking, we're always bumping into it, and it always ends up falling. So and then every episode, one of us turns to each other.
And I'll end up tripping on it. Yeah. But he just flipped over the chicken. He's going to do both sides. You want to make sure that both are seasoned well with this.
And you notice I'm going high when I do this. I don't want to go too close because then all my seasoning is going to get in one spot. So if I go high, it's going to distribute across all the protein.
You don't want to accidentally touch raw chicken with your
with your actual shakers. Yeah. So I'm also going to season the flour with just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a lot of pepper. I'm going to get crazy and put a little garlic powder in there.
Yeah, you know what? We don't have that up there on the recipe ingredient list there, but
probably because I didn't tell her, but I just tend to.
But we like garlic powder and onion powder.
Garlic powder, so it's gonna add some nice flavor.
We just feel like it gives a little bit of flavor. Like I said, I even put it in the rice water.
I like everything spicy, so I'm gonna put a dash of cayenne in there as well.
Not the Hungarian paprika.
Not the Hungarian paprika. Give this a quick little stir.
There we go.
That's it. Very simple.
Really,
so
really
the flour
easy.
dredge is ready.
Yeah, so while he dredges that up, too, we're going to cook this chicken in a little bit of olive oil and butter together. So we're going to let that kind of melt down together over some medium heat. That's quite a bit.
Not too much?
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe it said like 2 to 3 tablespoons. That's probably good.
That's 2.
Yeah, that's about 2 to 3.
Maybe 3.
Yeah. I actually...
slowly.
It's good. I think it's good. We're good. So a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of butter too, for some flavor.
How much butter?
It was like half and half.
Half and half.
Yeah. Good. And I'm just gonna put the heat right now on like medium low, just to kind of get this melted up together. And he's gonna dredge up that chicken.
All right, so super simple with the dredge. I'm literally just going to put the chicken in there and move it around. And
just make sure it's evenly coated. That's all. Are you going to use a tongue? Are you going to use your hands? What's easier for you?
I'm going to use my hands for the dredge, and I'm just going to get the tongue ready for.
Cool.
All right, so chicken in. Dredge to one side. Flip it over. Dredge the other side. You can even just sprinkle a little more on top. I'm going to keep this hand as my clean hand. This is going to be my chicken hands.
I'm not seeing any activity on the chat. Can somebody send something so that I know that it's working? If not, I'm going to have to exit out of there and come back in. Let us know. I'm not sure. The chat is working. I'm going to go out, come back in.
Nice simple dredge. And you just want to make sure the chicken is coated. That's really all you need. Give it a little shake before it comes out.
Okay, thank you, Kiwi. It is working. Awesome. It's just quiet in here.
Just a quiet bunch today.
It's just a quiet bunch. Usually we get some questions. All right. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't ignoring anybody's questions or comments. Okay, yeah, so he's just coating those up with some flour. This is all kind of melted together here now with some butter and oil. I'm just going to make sure that all that butter is melted down. Good. And you can certainly make this dish. On our list there, we have white wine as one of the cooking liquids. You could, if you don't want to use wine, you can use chicken stock or vegetable stock or something like that in its place. Are you ready for me to put these in?
Is the oil hot already?
Yeah. It's starting to bubble up here, and it's getting nice and hot there. So I'm just going to take the chicken and place them in. You want to try to make sure not to crowd up your pan. So space them out best you can. If your chicken is really big, you could always do this in like batches.
Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna have enough room. Yeah. Thank you.
So we're on a medium-high heat.
Yep.
Just let it simmer.
And we're just gonna kind of let this cook on this side, and then so I would say this chicken doesn't take particularly long, especially if it's a thinner cut. But you want to give this a couple of minutes on. I would say probably 3 to 5 minutes on each side. I would say.
I'd say more on the 5 side for the first, more on the 3 side on the other,
yeah.
opposite side.
And you're gonna want a nice little brown color on this. That's what you're kind of aiming for. You don't want to go too brown.
No.
But you want to
get
have a
away
nice,
from it pretty quickly.
yeah, you want to have like a nice caramel color. And chicken is cooked through at 165 degrees. So, but this will have an opportunity to kind of cook down a little bit in the sauce too.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of hear it sizzling up here. This is something that is really easy, so, and simple. And like you said, you could have it with rice or with pasta or with maybe like a potato or a vegetable on the side. Tonight we're going to do with some rice, but I think we're also going to have a little bit of a side salad, right?
Yeah, I can
So
do that a lot.
he's going to whip up a side salad, too, so we get some greens in. Last night, on a whim, we decided... Or actually, I can't take any credit for it. He made the dinner last night while I was feeding the baby. So he decided to make a soup, a tomato-based soup with shrimp, potatoes, and chicken sausage. And it was really, really tasty. It's been kind of rainy and yucky the last couple of days, although today was beautiful. But the last couple of days were definitely soup weather. And he made a really hearty and delicious soup that tasted even better today. I had it for lunch. And then we had like some Italian bread with dip. It was really, really good. That's certainly one we'd like to make on the channel in the future.
Yeah, we've been doing soups the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, we decided to make soups. And what's funny is that we never used to really make a lot of soup. We would sometimes occasionally make it, but we never really experimented with it, but now the last couple of weeks we decided to do that, and we had some really good soup.
Yeah, the weather, it's just been cold.
Yeah, we've had some cold, kind of gloomy days, and nothing better than soup on that kind of day. Curl up with a bowl of soup. So you can hear this kind of sizzling away now. It's definitely doing its job. You could see like the outer layer of the chicken. The edges are starting to turn white, so it's cooking there.
Yeah.
You don't want to serve undercooked chicken ever.
Nope. And so right now we're just going to let it simmer.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to do anything. We don't have to move it. The less you move it, the better. The more you move it, the more the flour's going to fall off.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that. You want to kind of just let it get like caramelized on the outside. Are we chefs because we keep feeding you soup?
What was the question?
He said, "Are you a chef because you keep feeding me soup?" Am I missing the
Is that
joke?
a quote for something?
Yeah. Am I missing that? I don't know. Am I missing a joke there?
Probably.
Probably,
Something
yeah,
very,
probably.
very witty.
Yeah. It's gone over my head.
Witty banter.
So, the other thing that we're going to be putting in this sauce is capers, and we've used capers on the channel before. We used that in our puttanesca when we made our tuna puttanesca, but capers are a nice kind of like briny, salty little berry thing.
It says right on here, Nona's best chicken piccata and puttanesca start here. I didn't know
Yeah, so this recipe actually that we pulled here is a Giada recipe. Actually, it's a combination of two different recipes I saw online, and one of hers, one of the recipes was hers. She actually said to rinse the capers. I don't know if you want to do that. I kind of like the
I like the
brandiness.
saltiness, yeah. I agree.
So we're probably not going to rinse it, but you can do that if you'd like, if you want to kind of cut some of that brininess and some of the saltiness out. Oh, okay, so it was lyrics to a song. Okay, fair. That's fair.
Something like very new and poppy.
No, he said it's actually from a popular song, I Got a Man by Positive K, released in 1991.
Oh, I got a man. What's your man got to do with me? I got a man. Not trying to hear that, Steve.
There
You
you
don't
go.
know that?
I can't place it right now.
Oh, I can hear it right now.
I can't.
I'm not doing a good version?
Do it again.
I got a man. I'm not trying to hear that, Steve. I got a man. I don't know, that's all I got.
Okay. Probably.
I felt like to play it.
No, because then our video will get turned off because we don't own the rights to the song. So this is looking good. It's probably been on there for a couple minutes.
Yeah, you can actually see it.
Like the corners are starting.
The corners are starting to brown up. And you can also see how it's raw on the inside, but you can see it's starting to get cooked on the exteriors, and that's going to let us know that we are good to flip.
Yeah, that we're going to get to flip here.
So actually, look at me using tongs, too.
Yes, and yeah, he would try to do this with his nuts. He touches everything with his fingers. Look at how beautiful they are. They're like the perfect color right now. Ooh, that looks good.
Good. The good sear.
Yeah,
the good sear.
Perfect time. You can see there that they have a little bit of that kind of caramel type of color there.
You can see the crust. You can actually feel it from touching them. You can see the salt and pepper.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Let me ask the chat, how do you say that word, that color, that flavor, that candy? Caramel or caramel?
Well, how are they going to pick that?
Well, spell it. If you say it caramel, get rid of that extra A.
I'm dyslexic. I don't know how to
He
spell.
does have dyslexia, so for him that was, yeah. But if you say caramel, put an uppercase A, that second A, so that I know what that's your pronunciation. And if it's caramel, get rid of that A.
So what do you?
I say caramel.
But if you said caramel,
Caramel.
would it be a U? Like, no, that'd be caramel.
Caramel? No, you're just saying C-A-R-M-A-L.
No.
Caramel.
Is that like South Jersey?
Yes.
Like Philly?
Well, yeah,
Like
South Jersey,
Boulder?
Philly says that. I've heard that in other parts of the country, so. Oh my god, did you really ask that yesterday, Kiki? I did not know that. I say caramel also, Mark. Caramel. Yeah, totally. But I've heard people say caramel.
There's like the church near us.
The
Church
Lady of Mount Carmel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caramel instead of caramel.
Yeah.
Like Mount St. Carmel.
But is it caramel? Is it spelled differently?
I don't know if it's spelled differently, but I didn't say like Our Lady Caramel.
No, but it might
Caramel.
be spelled differently. But I'm talking about the candy.
I know, but I don't know if it's the same word.
I did not know that. It was
By the way, I was eating some olives. I wanted a snack. I was hungry.
New York Times quiz. I did not know that. Oh, and it's weird. I get the Times email every day, but I didn't see it. Huh. I'm going to have to look back and see if it was in my email. So we're going to let this kind of cook up now on the other side for a couple minutes. Give it some time. We were saying that chicken is cooked at 165 degrees, so you could also kind of cut into the middle. You could check it with a thermometer, or you can cut and see how it looks inside. You definitely don't want to see any pink.
He's the fancy one. Like, look.
Oh yeah, you can put it right there on your
See?
right there on your apron.
Right on your apron.
Oh, this smells
It's
really
like
good.
a pocket protector.
And the rice smells really good too. And meatball parmesan.
But like a chef with a chef coat, they have like a little, like a pen holder. They put it on their arm.
Sorry, you just heard me say meatball parmesan to our one dog because he's trying to get into the garbage can. So he knows he's in trouble when I use his first and middle name. Right, Meatball?
The Baba.
We call him the Baba. He's a really good dog, but he's fresh sometimes with the garbage. Especially now that we have a baby, too. He's like extra fresh. He's like, hey, pay attention to me.
Because he used to be the baby. But
Yeah.
now he's a middle child.
Yeah, now he's the middle child. All right, once this chicken is cooked up, what we're going to do is we're just going to set it aside on a plate, and then we're going to make the sauce in the pan with the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to put that on the plate when we're ready. You're going to check the temperature first?
Yeah, probably need another minute, but we'll check
Yeah,
it.
probably another minute or so to let that kind of cook. Our rice cooker just popped too, so that's all ready to go. Yes, that is true, Mark. He will do that also if you stop petting him. He's a very needy dog when it comes to affection. He loves being pet, and he's very bossy, so if you stop petting him and he wants you to continue, he will let you know.
Like his right there.
Oh, actually, we got the email that we made. We hit all of the criteria to be affiliate. I just have to kind of follow through and see what else I have to do to kind of get that ball rolling. Hello, Anastasia. Welcome.
We are good.
All right, so those look good to go now. Great. What did she see out there?
She sees something.
Our dog Riggy sees something out in the yard.
Oh, is it?
Are they?
I think I saw them coming
I
out.
think they're in the front.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know what she sees out back. Thank you. Thanks. And thanks to all of you for helping us to reach that.
Yeah.
Following us. And,
Very cool.
and for watching. So we've been having fun. Yeah.
So fancy. Yeah. We've been having a blast.
And we're doing this anyway. So it's been fun to share it with you. We are going to now, yes, deglaze this pan and the yummy brown bits in the pan.
See, there's all those brown bits, all that chickeny fat goodness. That's where all the flavor is going to come from. So I'm turning it up to high heat. We're going to take some dry white wine. It's going right in the pan. Just careful.
Yes. Yeah.
Only half a cup.
Yeah, it's about a half a cup right there. You're going to want to cook that alcohol out. We're going to use it just to kind of scrape up those little brown bits at the bottom, and it's going to be the base of our sauce. And the sauce, all it takes, again, is some white wine, some butter, olive oil, lemon, and capers, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And as I mentioned before, you can use chicken stock in place of the wine.
Absolutely. I mean, the important thing is just that you're going to deglaze the pan because that's where you're going to get all this flavor. And to glaze it, after I put that white wine in, or your chicken stock, I'm just going to take a wooden spoon and I'm going to break up whatever is on the bottom there. And you see I almost get this like delicious color right now.
Yeah, it's going to be really pretty.
This caramel color.
Oh, just got a text. Baby is asleep. He
He
was tired, yeah. He only took about a half-hour nap today. He is teething, as we mentioned a couple days ago.
7 and 8 are coming in?
Number 7 and 8 are coming in.
This is a 6-month-old.
This is a 6.5-month-old, okay? He's got a lot of teeth already.
Yeah.
He got them very early. Oops, I realized I just closed the chat.
All right, so that is almost ready. So I think we can almost ready to pack the rest of our sauce.
No, he didn't just text us. He's outside with our friend Grace. And do we always talk this much when we cook? Yeah.
We pretty much talk this much all the time.
Yeah, we're
both teachers, so
yeah, we talk a lot. Actually, though, I have to say that when I was still working, because I'm on maternity leave this year, when I was still working, sometimes after school we would come home and we would be like pretty quiet because we would just talk all day long and we would need a break.
I got home an hour before the stream started. I probably said 3 words, like, hey.
Yeah, we didn't even talk.
Right.
I was outside talking to a friend.
Because I hadn't stopped. I went to school, and then it was like my lunch prep. I had 3 meetings, one of which was a gamification. Kiwi, you'll love this. I did my first Dunn Does. So 2 of the students turned in their points to get me to karaoke style sing Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, which I've never seen Frozen 2. And since only 2 of the students purchased it, they didn't want to do it in front of the whole class. So I told them I'd set up a Zoom, and I Zoomed with them so there's a lunch break in between. We're doing AM, PM sessions during the pandemic. And I Zoomed with them, and they loved it. So gamification has been a huge hit. All right, I'm going to add a little lemon zest because I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. Actually, that's really funny. Our son, his nickname is MJ, but his grandpa doesn't like that nickname because he says everybody thinks that that's Michael Jackson, so you can't say that anymore. You have to call him by his actual name.
Add a little butter. And how much butter am I adding? Because I'm just doing it.
So we used about 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter and oil of both of those things prior when we cooked the chicken, and now you're going to do about the same amount.
Yeah.
So you're going to do about 3 tablespoons of oil, 3 tablespoons of butter to make the sauce. He already deglazed the pan with some white wine. He added some lemon zest. And now he's going to do the lemon juice.
I don't even know if it calls for that, but I just always
You
instinctively do it.
Yeah, but that's okay. I think that's going to be a nice flavor.
So the zest of any citrus fruit, that's where all the essential oils are. So you actually get some of the best flavor from that. It's really an amazing thing. So like if you ever took like a lemon peel and you're like, oh, why do they put lemon in or orange peel in a cocktail? It's because there's actually juice in there. So if you were to squeeze it, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there is the oils in there. So
yeah, there's some oils from that.
It's a fun trick.
Oh.
Have I showed you this?
No, you have not, but I think you've told me.
So if you take a flame and you squeeze, you say,
oh yeah,
fireworks. So that's the essential oils being released.
Okay.
Fun facts.
Very cool. So he's going to add the lemon juice now. We're using 1 lemon, so that's going to equate to about like 1/3 of a cup, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe this one might be a little bit small, but that's okay. However much lemon you want to use. So this is about a medium-sized lemon. Now we're going to add some capers. We like capers, so we're going to add quite a bit. And like I said, we're not rinsing these, but you can.
2 tablespoons. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's good.
2?
I would say about 2.
That's 2.
2 tablespoons, maybe a little more.
I feel like I was wrong.
Yeah, I feel like you, because this is they're part of like.
Capers have like this earthy brininess to them.
Yeah.
Because it is.
It's not like a pickly type of.
No, it's not a pickly brine. I mean, briny essentially means like the taste of the sea, so it has that saltiness. Mm-hmm. But since it's the caper and it's like a vegetable.
A berry, I believe. Caper berry.
Caper berry.
Caper berries, yeah.
So they do have this like nutty sort of earthiness to them.
Actually, I think you might even be able to put more capers.
You can see the sauce cooking up nicely. Fogging up the camera. I think we could go a little more. You can smell the capers right away. I think they have such a lovely fragrant scent.
Yep, so you're going to add a little bit more. We're going to add a little bit more capers here, just for some flavor.
Like them.
We like them. And they're pretty.
They do.
They're actually give like the dish like really like pretty kind of color too. So this is just going to boil up, and then we're going to add that chicken that we already cooked back into here and let it kind of soak up and let that cook for like about another couple minutes.
Just to kind of soak up the sauce.
Soak up the sauce a little bit and get some of these juices going. He's going to give it a taste. It's really easy sauce to make. You could absolutely make this, like if you wanted to, if you were going to serve this with pasta, I think you should kind of maybe double up on the sauce and make a little bit more so that you could toss your pasta in with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would double up on the sauce if you're doing a pasta. I mean, I think you could kind of always double up on the sauce.
Oh, yeah.
I prefer a ton of sauce on everything. Sally's less saucy.
Yeah,
less saucy.
Yes, I'm a little less saucy when it comes to that. That's for sure. All right, so I'm gonna throw the chicken in.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And he's just gonna make a quick salad.
So we're using baby spinach and baby arugula. Arugula, it's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable.
A vegetable. TV, you got that one?
Did you get the reference there?
It's a vegetable. You know what I haven't had in forever? Arugula. It's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable. Please tell us
It's
if
a
you get
classic.
the reference. Yeah.
We wanted to watch.
I know Mark will get it.
I'll give you. It's a movie. We wanted to watch that movie once so bad one day. I went and
we
bought
rented
it.
it.
No, I bought it on like Prime or something.
Oh yeah, you bought it on Prime. That's true.
So
Mark
spinach,
has it on DVD. I know he does.
Half spinach, half arugula, little salt, little pepper. Some olive oil, generous amount, And then there's a little bit of this lemon left, and I'm just going to use the rest of that
No
lemon.
chance he wouldn't know, you think? Or
No chance?
that Kiwi would know?
I feel like he would know
I
this.
feel like he would know. I know Mark.
Anything pop culture, I rely on Kiwi. Anything pop culture, gaming. I used to... Did I ever tell you this? I used to text Cup of Kiwi like once a week, and I'd be like, all right, give me my pop culture, like current pop culture reference of the week, so I could keep up with the middle school kids, and he would teach me a new word every week. We had a little streak going, and then I kind of forgot about it.
That's
I
funny.
apologize. So I did some lemon, and now I'm going to add some Parmesan cheese. Generous amount of Parmesan cheese. I'm going to throw a couple of tomatoes in here.
I'm just stirring up our rice here because this is done in the rice cooker.
So the chicken's good, actually.
Chicken
Turn
is
the flame
done.
off.
Yeah, we're good. I'm just going to flip it over so it gets some sauce on the other side.
Yeah. Cut up these tomatoes. These are the good ones. Good tomatoes.
I love those tomatoes. I love those. They're like a little medley of different color cherry tomatoes. They're fabulous. All right, so nobody guessed the movie, but we were just doing, we were joking about My Blue Heaven with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis. It is a very funny movie. Oh, and of course, Joan Cusack. If you have never seen the movie, you should see it.
It's wonderful.
Very, very funny.
Really funny. He is a mobster in the Witness Protection Program. Steve Martin is, and Rick Moranis is
the
his
FBI agent.
FBI or
Handler.
his handler.
So funny. All right. Okay, so this is good. This is good to go.
I think you,
Yeah, I put the capers on top so you could take a look at this. Actually, let me just put that down for a sec. You see that in the pan. Looks good already. It's going to look super good in the plate. And our rice is done, so we'll put a little bit of rice on our plate, top it with some of the sauce and the chicken, and we're going to have a little side salad. So that's our dinner for tonight. And I think we already know what we're going to be making on Friday.
Oh, we do. I've been preparing.
Yes.
Should we give a little preview of a couple of ingredients and you could guess what it is?
Oh yeah, we could do that.
Oh, by the way, the salad now I'm just going to toss it together. You want to dress it, and the dressing is just olive oil and lemon just before you serve it, because once you don't want it to be soggy. I think this is the best dressing for salad. I think it's the best tasting kind of dressing for
just in general.
Almost anything.
It's simple, but it has the
Lemon and
most
olive oil.
flavor.
Lemon and olive oil, delicious. Really good on. You can throw it on a baked potato, and you're good to go. Just really, really tasty. So simple.
Yeah, he always puts a little Parmesan cheese. Good, good, good. Yeah, let me show you a couple of the ingredients that we have for our meal on Friday and see if you can take a guess. We have a little bit of Gruyere cheese, sharp cheddar, and Fontina. What do you think we'll be making? These are just some of the ingredients, but what do you think? Take a guess. What we may be making on Friday with all of these beautiful cheeses. We're looking forward to that. All right, so we're plating some of our food here. We did not do our little rice trick with this because we kind of want the rice to be spread around on the plate.
Spread around, put more rustic, if you will.
Ah, perfect. Mm-mm. Yum. Oh, that looks great. Perfect. Yummy, yummy dish there. So, here we are. We're done. Nobody had any guesses for what our meal is going to be on Friday? Nobody? Last chance. This is our dinner tonight. It's a little chicken piccata over white rice. Easy, easy, easy peasy. This is a super simple sauce made with some lemon, olive oil, butter, and capers. And a little bit of white wine or chicken stock, whatever you prefer. But that's it. So we're going to go eat now. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for helping us to reach affiliate level. We're super appreciative.
Do we need to read anyone?
Am I reading anybody? Who's going to be, Mark, are you going on? Or no, it's still too early for you. TV, are you going on now? We can certainly raid your channel for you. We will be sharing the recipe to this dish on our Instagram page. So please, if you don't follow us there, follow us now at OurDinnerisDunn. We post photos of our food and recipes there. And I will also ship this video. I will load it onto our YouTube channel in case you missed this and you're joining us a little late and you want to watch it later. So thanks a lot for joining us. The chat has been super quiet. Like I said, I don't know if I'm missing anything or if the chat's just been quiet. But I know that there are some people in here, so thanks again for joining us. We'll see you on Friday. And again, our recipe for Friday is going to be super cheesy. I showed you all of those cheeses. So get your minds working and think about what we might be making with those yummy cheeses that we mentioned. All right, so I will say thanks again for joining us. We'll see you on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, and have a great, great night.